Hi, this is Mike Parati from Lackawanna College, and I am doing a brief webcast for week one. Hope all is going well. Make sure you check out the syllabus. Make sure you post on the forums. And if you have any questions, please email me at professorparati@gmail.com. I wanted to point your attention to a couple things from the textbook in Turbulent Passage. Hope you're all enjoying the book. It is somewhat difficult to get started with it, as I think all books are, to be honest with you. But the main points of the first chapter are very critical. The curriculum for this class is Europe and the world in the 20th century. Well, the world of the 20th century is the history of World War I, World War II, and we don't know anything about those conflicts unless we understand what happened before then. You guys understand in your lives that most of the events that happen come from events that happened before. And the basic crux of the chapter is that industrialization changed the way that Europeans did things and lived. Think about it in a sort of regular sense. It started with raw materials and industry. People discovered ways to make things cheaper. People discovered ways to get products easier. And because of that, people moved into the cities. Because people moved into the cities, there were a lot of cramped up spaces, and you'll see in the textbook that a lot of radicalized new political ideas began to flourish. Liberalism, conservatism, nationalism, radicalism, these kind of ideas, all emerged because people were together, and when people are together, they talk about issues. So that's one. There was sort of radicalization of politics because of that. The second thing that I think is even more important is the fact that governments became more needed. What do we need governments for? We need governments to make roads. We need governments to services, health services, these kind of things. And because of that, the role of the government became more important. And the government then became extremely more powerful. So you have all these more powerfully emerging nations, Germany, Britain, France, etc., and even the United States. So it's important to realize that when we say the British government, when you're looking 400 years ago, it's not the government that we expect today. Governments as we know it began to emerge at this time because they had to perform services, they had to be more, people were never aware of the government before this time on a daily basis. So it becomes extremely important that governments are becoming more powerful. The third part is, as governments become more powerful, they become more competitive. The era that Chapter 1 deals with is the sort of the biggest era in terms of being competitive. The Olympic Games come back in fashion. People have competing, sporting events. Look at the leisure activities that people are doing. And countries began to compete over everything, including colonies, power, military, etc. So think of this time as sort of a bubbling up of competition. Now think about this, and the final thing that I'll say. If you have countries competing over how many weapons they have, or how many soldiers they have, or how many colonies they have, you would have to think inevitably a conflict is coming. And that conflict is World War I, which we'll see in Chapter 3. So I hope this has explained some things. If you have any questions, please email me. Post any questions to the forum, and have a good day.